Have you ever caught yourself gazing through old photo albums, a bittersweet smile playing on your lips as you relive adventures past? The urge to pack your bags and chase that feeling again can be incredibly strong, especially as life slows down and the world seems to beckon with open arms. Travel is often presented as the ultimate reward for a life well lived, a golden opportunity to finally see those places you've only dreamed of. But what if the very thing meant to enrich your later years could inadvertently diminish them? What if the romanticized ideal of carefree travel clashes with the realities of an aging body and a changing landscape of health and well-being? It's a conversation many shy away from, a delicate topic often overshadowed by the excitement and allure of ticking off bucket list destinations. No one wants to be the bearer of bad news, the one to suggest that perhaps those grand adventures are best left to younger generations. Yet ignoring the potential downsides of travel in your later years can be a disservice to yourself and your loved ones. It's not about instilling fear or discouraging exploration, but rather about fostering a deeper understanding of your evolving needs and limitations. The truth is, your body after 65 isn't the same resilient machine it once was. The subtle aches and pains you used to brush aside now demand attention. The boundless energy you took for granted has become a precious resource to be carefully managed. And while your spirit may still crave adventure, your physical and emotional capacity may be sending a different message altogether. This isn't a sign of weakness or defeat, but a natural progression of life, a call to adapt and prioritize your well-being in new and meaningful ways. Perhaps you've already experienced a nagging sense of unease before a trip, a subtle hesitation that's hard to explain. Maybe you've noticed that your recovery time after a vacation is getting longer and longer, leaving you feeling more drained than refreshed. Or perhaps you're simply starting to question whether the stress and strain of travel outweigh the fleeting moments of joy and excitement. These are valid concerns, whispers of wisdom from your body and mind, urging you to reevaluate your priorities. This isn't about giving up on new experiences altogether, but about redefining what adventure looks like in your later years. It's about finding joy and fulfillment in ways that nurture your health, preserve your independence, and honor the wisdom you've accumulated over a lifetime. It's about recognizing that sometimes the greatest journey you can take is the one inward, towards a deeper understanding of yourself and your evolving needs. Prepare to explore a different perspective on travel, one that prioritizes well-being over wanderlust and self-care over sightseeing. It's an invitation to reconsider the traditional narrative of aging and embrace a new paradigm of adventure, one that celebrates the joy of living fully and vibrantly, right where you are. The following insights might challenge some long-held beliefs, but ultimately, they aim to empower you to make informed decisions that safeguard your health and happiness in the years to come. At the heart of this discussion lies a crucial understanding. The aging process fundamentally alters your body's ability to handle stress. What was once a manageable challenge can morph into a significant health risk. To illustrate, let's talk about balance. Maintaining equilibrium becomes more difficult as we age, thanks to inner ear changes, reduced muscle mass, and slower reflexes. So, envision navigating cobblestone streets in a charming European village, a scene often depicted as idyllic. For a younger person, a slight stumble is a minor inconvenience. For someone over 70, however, that stumble could result in a serious fall, leading to fractures, hospital stays, and a prolonged recovery. This isn't merely theoretical. CDC data reveals a sharp increase in fall-related injuries among older adults, a statistic often exacerbated by unfamiliar and uneven terrains encountered during travel. Adding to this, consider the cognitive demands of navigating a foreign environment. Learning new public transportation systems, deciphering unfamiliar signage, and communicating in a different language all place a significant burden on cognitive resources. While mental stimulation is generally beneficial, the sheer volume of new information encountered during travel can overwhelm the brain, leading to confusion, disorientation, and increased anxiety. Think of it like trying to learn a new instrument at an accelerated pace. The initial excitement can quickly give way to frustration and mental fatigue. This cognitive overload can be particularly problematic for individuals with pre-existing cognitive impairments, such as mild cognitive decline or early-stage dementia. Furthermore, the disruption of your circadian rhythm or internal clock due to jet lag can have far-reaching consequences. Crossing multiple time zones throws your body's natural sleep-wake cycle out of sync, disrupting hormone production, digestive processes, and immune function. This disruption can lead to sleep disturbances, daytime fatigue, and a weakened immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. It's akin to repeatedly pulling all-nighters. The cumulative effect can take a heavy toll on your physical and mental health. Studies have linked chronic jet lag to an increased risk of cardiovascular problems, metabolic disorders, and even certain types of cancer. On top of these physical and cognitive stressors, the emotional toll of travel should not be underestimated. Being away from your familiar support network, dealing with unexpected travel delays, and navigating crowded tourist attractions can all contribute to increased stress levels. The pressure to make the most of your vacation, coupled with the fear of something going wrong, can create a constant state of anxiety. This chronic stress can lead to elevated blood pressure, increased heart rate, and a weakened immune system, all of which can negatively impact your overall health. It's similar to running a marathon without proper training. The initial adrenaline rush can quickly fade, leaving you feeling exhausted and depleted. Therefore, it becomes important to understand that while travel brochures often paint a picture of relaxation and rejuvenation, the reality can be quite different for older adults. The cumulative effect of physical, cognitive, and emotional stressors can outweigh the potential benefits, leading to a decline in health and well-being. The aim here is not to discourage exploration, but rather to encourage a more mindful and realistic approach to travel, one that takes into account your individual needs and limitations. The confluence of these considerations paints a more nuanced picture of travel in later life, moving beyond the simplistic notion of it being an inherently positive experience. A complex web of interconnected factors emerges, where physical resilience, cognitive bandwidth, and emotional equilibrium all play critical roles. It is no longer just about the destination, but about the journey your body and mind undertake to get there, and the subsequent toll it extracts. Viewed through this lens, the decision to travel transforms from a question of where should I go to how can I best preserve my well-being. Each potential trip becomes a personalized risk-benefit analysis, weighing the allure of new experiences against the potential for physical strain, mental fatigue, and emotional depletion. It's akin to carefully managing a financial portfolio. You wouldn't invest in a high-risk venture without considering your overall financial security and risk tolerance. Similarly, you should unembark on a physically or emotionally demanding trip without fully assessing your current health status and available resources. Consequently, what initially appears as a simple choice to travel or not to travel reveals itself to be a far more profound inquiry into the very essence of well-being. It challenges the prevailing cultural narrative that equates aging with decline, and instead encourages a proactive approach to self-care and personal fulfillment. It's about shifting the focus from external validations, seeking adventure to prove one's vitality, to internal alignment, honoring the body's signals and prioritizing personal comfort. Considering this accumulated wisdom, it becomes evident that the true measure of a fulfilling later life is unto the number of stamps in your passport, but the quality of your daily experiences. It's about cultivating a sense of purpose, maintaining meaningful connections, and finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. It's about creating a haven of comfort and security where you can thrive without constantly pushing your physical and emotional boundaries. Reflecting on this journey so far, we begin to understand that staying grounded isn't a sign of weakness, but rather an act of self-preservation. It's about recognizing the inherent value of stability, predictability, and familiarity in a world that often glorifies novelty and change. It's about embracing a slower pace of life, savoring each moment, and finding contentment in the present. As we prepare to draw our final conclusions, consider how you might recalibrate your own aspirations. Embracing a vision of adventure that prioritizes well-being above all else, the question then becomes not, what am I missing out on? But rather, what am I gaining by staying true to myself? The path we've traversed together brings us to a simple, yet profound realization. The most authentic adventures are not always found on a map. They reside within the choices we make to honor our bodies, nurture our minds, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. This isn't about abandoning the spirit of exploration, but about redefining it in a way that aligns with the realities of aging. It's time to release the pressure to constantly chase external validation. To prove our worth through extraordinary experiences, the true measure of a life well lived lies not in the places we've seen, but in the person we've become along the way. It's about embracing the wisdom that comes with age, recognizing the limits of our physical and emotional resources, and making conscious choices that prioritize our well-being above all else. Consider this. Perhaps the greatest adventure of all is the journey inward, the exploration of our own inner landscape. It's about discovering new passions, cultivating meaningful relationships, and finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. It's about creating a sanctuary of comfort and security, a place where we can thrive without constantly pushing ourselves to the brink. This requires courage, a willingness to challenge societal norms, and a deep sense of self-awareness. Ultimately, it's about reclaiming our time and energy, redirecting them towards activities that truly nourish our souls. It might mean spending more time with loved ones, pursuing creative hobbies, volunteering in our communities, or simply savoring the quiet moments of reflection. It's about designing a life that is both meaningful and sustainable, a life that reflects our values and honors our unique needs. The true practice begins now. In the quiet moments of reflection, where we honestly assess our priorities and make conscious choices that align with our well-being. It's about releasing the guilt of saying no to experiences that drain us, and embracing the freedom to say yes to those that truly enrich our lives. It's about recognizing that staying grounded isn't a limitation, but an act of self-love, a testament to the wisdom we've accumulated over a lifetime. So as you move forward, may you find the courage to chart your own course, to redefine adventure on your own terms, and to embrace the joy of living fully and vibrantly, right where you are. Let that be your greatest journey.